And by the way, my family was decent. Sorry, this is the third video going on for the other two posts. If they were decent, like I said, the last 9 years wouldn't have happened because I would have been believed. And yeah, I'm not mentally retarded, so I don't need these organisations to keep harassing me, nor do I need support networks or social workers. So what I did as soon as I realised, and this is going back years ago, probably, well, around about the same time Nan had a stroke. You see, Nan would tell the truth and put her daughters out before me. Put me before her daughters, but hunt her daughters out as soon as I started trouble. So if Nan was able to, if I stood up and said, oh, this, and Nan said, if what I was saying was the truth, Nan would turn up and say, yeah, this is the truth. Here's this, and I'm so sick of my fucking daughters. She used to friggin' word she used to say, but friggin' means fucking. Really, well, Nan says friggin'. Nan used to say friggin' and get stuffed, and they were the only two swear words, well, if you classify them as swear words these days, that she ever said. Friggin' and get stuffed. So, she would. So, knowing this bullshit, knowing their behaviour, knowing that, again, I don't use drugs, and I don't even drink alcohol. And I did play a prank on some losers of people from 2016 to 2018 because I couldn't stand these people. After I was lied about in 2015 as some little scrubber piece of abo shit, Brett Aikenhead. Then in 2016, when I felt this weird, I was approached by a guy called PRY who said he was a friend of Brett Aikenhead's. And then everything else that unraveled after this, I was like, no, this is fucked up. And I know I don't have a family on both sides. Because I know my mother's fucking behaviour. 1 minute, I'm there going, okay, but I did do modelling when I was younger. And my mother's been not telling the truth. She's playing little games. And the next minute she goes, oh, well, he did do modelling. He was in a competition and he won. It's like, you couldn't have said this 2 years ago when I'm getting, you just play your little games, Carol. So knowing all this, okay. People say, oh, but you hung around with Belinda Jeffries. No, she's just my hairdresser. But basically, as soon as I met this person, I'm getting a haircut and treatment. I'm very switched on to people, and instantly she was always talking about, oh, I'm called Oney or Busy Bee, and oh, I've got these, and I do this, and I get up to that. Oh, I've got this guy on speed dial, get cocaine from. Have you ever had cocaine, Juzzy? Like this, and I was like, And I just met her not long after Nan had a stroke. I was like, well, I'm going to need people like this. I don't have my grandparents anymore. And I don't have any other family members I'm close to. I'm going to need people like this because I know their behaviour in my family. So, and what for? Not for drugs. No, but I do know the law, and I do know that she's distributing cocaine, purchasing it for mush. Oh, I might forget this statement. Not fucking likely. And I'm like, so arrest me for this. Arrest me for looking at the fact that I was handed an opportunity to say, I need a thug. I need a good fucking thug, knowing that the behaviour towards me from fucking people. And I'll tell you about my grandfather, Reg Purdy. He would be the same sort of clubby guy because those people, Reg Purdy, they're from the city. His brother, Raymond Purdy, died in King's Cross. Like I said to Max, I said, I reckon that's where Pop got his tattoo from. I know he got it from King's Cross. Pop on his arm here, Pop had an anchor. Pop's tattoos were all nautical. My grandfather, Reginald George Purdy, had tattoos. And he said that was from the cross because that's where his brother lived. And Max tattoo, the guy they said, I must have been asked because there was no other ones that would have done this in those times. So, Pop, definitely had, I remember his anchor that he had here on the arm. It was about here. So Pop's tattoo was about here. If I can try and do it. So Pop's tattoo had one here. Pop had a few tattoos. Reg Purdy. I don't know if it's any descriptions when they did the autopsy on him at Concord Hospital in 2002, but yeah, Pop had tattoos. Always used to keep his arms covered. He was a gentleman, but yeah, if you ever rolled him up when he was out there, but you'll see the tattoos on him. My grandfather, Reg Purdy, had tattoos, and he said he had them done at the cross, so that would be Max. Tattoos, would have to be. If it's that one that was the only one that was there, well, then yeah, it would be. Raymond Purdy, Pop's brother, died at King's Cross. That's where he was living. That's where they used to run around with, and that's why Raymond. This is all true. This is why fucking Raymond Senior, Raymond Purdy, so Pop's brother. That's why his sons end up being, well, Raymond Jr. Ended up being the good one. Gary Purdy ended up being the one that was working for Roger Rogerson, the disgraced King's Cross detective. Yeah, it's fucking true. So, when I'm looking at the shit that's going on in my life over the years and people who don't know me, and I'm looking at this going, oh, fuck off. If I don't have someone strong in my family, neither one of my family sides are strong. I mean, look at Dad's fucking bastards on his side. His sisters that never knew me really before 2007, they just sucked up Giovanni's ass since they met me, my cousins. They don't know me. Don't know me, but they know what my partner fed them. So I'm looking at this going, well, then who do I really have to have my back? Well, I don't have anybody. Because no one knows me. I always worked. I made sure that, I kept my business to myself. You don't tell people too much. I'm like, fuck, who do I have? We know Carol's behaviour, what she would do. No one. Oh, but then you got hand this opportunity where Belinda Jeffries starts, showing all these criminals, people that she knows. And I was like, great. Now, I don't use drugs. I would never be involved in it. I would never do anything criminally like that. Don't ever label that to me. But watching these people thinking, I'm going to need a good thug one day. So you want to arrest me for that? I'll put this across media. You want to arrest me for thinking that I have been treated the way I've been treated, and you can see this in the last 9 years. And maybe one day I'm going to need to say, oh, that heavy-set Russian guy, come here. I don't do the behaviour that Belinda Jeffries does, and I don't do the behaviour you do, but I need your help for something else. I'm being lied about. You make sure that person stops lying about me. Well, what are you going to do? Arrest me for thinking that?